So the practicum is a unique action learning kind of project that we do at ASB. It's a week-long project where we involve up to 60 students working on one site, on one big problem broken into smaller pieces.
This is practicum is a concentrated version of action learning.
This is our first one in an agricultural setting, outdoors, and with farms spread over many, many kilometers of space. And it's focused on sustainability.
Taking 60 students to a confined building, a factory building, is very different from taking them to an open plantation areas.
Here in a oil palm plantation, but the lessons that you get from here, the challenges, they also translate to the challenge of many other industries. Really, when you think about sustainability, you're talking about changing a paradigm of how you do business, how do you incorporate different issues to your operations.
We came here with the expectation that there's going to be a lot of quick wins and low-hanging fruits that we can work with. We really have to dig a bit deeper into the problem and really get our hands, roll up our sleeves and get our hands dirty.
It's relatively clean and easy to talk about sustainability in a classroom or in a lecture. But once you bring people out into the field, into the farms, into the details of any given situation, it's not so clean and easy.
I'm all sweaty, I'm all dirty, but it's been great, very rewarding.
The amount of strength that's required to pull down one palm fruit is insane. It's a Herculean task. Then I asked the guy, how long does it take for you to pull out the fruit? And he said 1. And I was like, oh, 1 hour. He's like, no, one jerk.
Stakeholders are from multiple angles, from the faculty, from the CSS team, from the students, our peers themselves, but more importantly our esteemed partnership with Procter Gamble and our association Petaniaga.
Our mission here is to ensure ethical and responsible sourcing of oil palm. At the same time, ensuring that there is no deforestation, no plantation on peat, and no exploitation happening in the supply chain. One of our goals is to take these farmers on a sustainability journey.
Sebelum saya menyertai Persatuan Tenaga, cabaran saya adalah ilmu.
Right now, of course, our target is the oil palm plantation and the small owners, the independent small owners. But when they are managers dealing with multiple different industries, I do hope that they take into consideration of all of these angles, the government, business players, manufacturers, consumers, and of course, the vulnerable groups.
Sebagainya pula mak saya tu tak boleh ditinggal kat rumah seorang. Jadi saya minjam-minjam dengan adik-beradik. Tak apalah, sayang baliklah, dah 2 tahun ni saya baliklah untuk jaga mak. Arwah bapa saya meninggal, jadi saya menjadikan kebun ni.
Management, there's a tendency that we zoom out and we take a step back away from where all the action is. we need to look at the strategic lens and we need to look at the bigger picture. But sometimes we lose too much when we are so far away from the ground.
I have a confession to make. This is not my first time in a palm oil plantation. My late grandfather, he used to be a small holder farmer as well. But, and here's my confession, we weren't yet compliant. We didn't know the best practices. It's been 4 years since he left us, and I do wish that he was still around for me to share all the things that I learned with him. I see his presence in the farmers that we met, see his presence in the community of Batu Pahat.
And most of our farmers are elderly, they are old, so it also requires a behavioral change. And more often than not, we would like to see upfront what is in it for me, which is again difficult to show unless you have something as a model farm right in the center of the community, and some farmers from within the community act as ambassadors.
Tapi setelah saya menyertai pertaniaga, alhamdulillah banyak tunjuk ajar yang diberikan oleh mentor-mentor saya untuk penjagaan kebun dan dapat menghasilkan kualiti buah dan kualiti berat buah yang kita akan dapat.
Yang perubahannya tentang penjagaan, tentang susunnya daripada susun pelepas sawit semua kan. Dulu saya longgok je kan, tinggi bakar tu kan. Bila dah tahu tak bakar lah.
Business and everything is about communication, right? How are you going to be able to communicate with other people if you don't understand what they're doing? So in here, we're doing that. We're precisely understanding what are the needs, the challenges, and in order to get something bigger, it starts from the ground.
Was a very good exercise and let's say hands-on experience to apply everything I learned in Professor Charlie class of operations. So for me it's a good experience, especially that I want to go into the direction of sustainability.
At the corporate office we always think about, okay, let's do change management, let's change the process on the ground, let's tell the people to do things differently and make it more efficient and basically help us make more money. But it is very different on the ground, and when you have a smallholder, a farmer, he's not actually able to change like how we expect it overnight.
Well, P&G is committed to playing a positive role within the communities and environments in which we live and work, and where we source our materials. This takes us beyond responsible sourcing and compliance monitoring to become a catalyst for change, a force for good, to achieve positive outcomes for communities, individuals, and the environment. Smallholder farmers globally are responsible for growing 40% of all palm fresh fruit bunches. Enabling the adoption of more sustainable farming practices has the potential to both improve lives and grow sustainable palm production and supply. At P&G, we are committed to working with these farmers through our partnership with ASB and CSS to enable them to transform their livelihoods through more efficient and sustainable farming practices.
We have had some success. We have had about 20 learning farms that we have until now. We are trying to make, our target is to reach 100, hopefully by the end of next year.
Saya dapat maklum balas daripada rakan-rakan yang bukan ahli pertaniaga, yang luar daripada saya. Dia melihat ada perubahan di kebun saya dan cara saya menguruskan kebun, dan mereka semua mengucapkan tahniah kepada saya dapat menjalankan tugas dengan baik.